The release of the sci-fi film BeyondBattLA has brought forth a torrent of criticism from science fiction fans and many critics, and with some good reasons. The characters in the film are simple and cliched, and so is much of the plot. When alien forces attack and establish a beachhead at Santa Monica, California, the about-to-retire Sergeant Michael Nance is reassigned to a Marine platoon. Their mission is to rescue some civilians trapped in a police station behind enemy lines. The courageous way in which the platoon carries out its mission makes this film a good recruitment tool for the Marines. Indeed, the film seems like a long version of those Army recruitment films that are shown in theaters just before a feature film begins. Though I must admit that I enjoyed parts of it, BeyondBattLA is a cliché-riddled rehash of a science fiction theme as old as H.G. Wells' classic War of the Worlds. Written over 100 years ago, the basic storyline has changed very little. Hollywood has made two versions of Wells' hoary story. In 1953, producer George Pal transferred the action from Wells, England, to America. At that time, Pal was the favorite Hollywood filmmaker of science fiction fans because of his concern for scientific accuracy in his beautiful 1950 film, Destination Moon. War of the Worlds was remade in 2005 by Steven Spielberg, of all people. I say of all people because his films contradicted his take on aliens as friendly, indeed even cuddly, in his popular 1982 film, E.T. BeyondBattLA started me thinking back over the history of this genre. Who can count all the other films with almost the identical theme? The same year that the first War of the Worlds came out, 1953, Universal Pictures released its first 3D film. It came from outer space. Instead of a vast armada of alien ships, just one spaceship crashes in the desert, and our hero makes a discovery of its horrific occupant, but of course no one will believe him. On a similar low level was 1957's Invasion of the Saucermen. Far better was the genuinely chilling Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which also included the much-used "They Won't Believe Him" theme. 1958's The Blob is distinguished mainly because it marked the screen debut of Steve McQueen. He plays a teenager who first discovers the Blob. And of course, they won't believe him either. In 1959 came Teenagers from Outer Space. You can gauge the film's quality by its title, I suspect. And good old Ed Wood got into the picture with his film that Michael Medved dubbed the worst movie in the world, 1959's Plan 9 from Outer Space. Other Earth invasion films made since the 50s include the 1976 remake of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Also a remake was John Carpenter's The Thing, made in 1982. I love Roger Ebert's calling it a great barf bag of a movie because of its gory special effects. The Thing also dealt with danger from a single alien rather than a whole army of them. As did 1987's film The Predator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. The alien comes to a South American jungle for the sport of hunting humans. Yum. How about this classic, Killer Clowns from Outer Space? I haven't seen this one yet. I can hardly wait. Now, this one really was intended to be a spoof. Mars Attacks, starring Jack Nicholson. This could be a picture of what the Tea Party would like to do to the Obama White House, but it's not. It's actually a scene from Independence Day, brought out in 1996. Memorable for its destruction of so many iconic American cities and monuments. So, as you can see, the alien invasion genre is indeed an old one. In virtually all of them, we are the good guys, and the aliens are the villains, seeking our destruction or subjugation, or, in a few cases, just a good meal. This is why Robert Weiss's The Day the Earth Stood Still was so refreshingly different when it came out in 1951. It starts out like the typical alien invasion story, with eerie music playing under the opening credits, and then a flying saucer landing on the Washington Mall. But soon this old premise is turned upside down when the army is called out to surround the flying saucer. They stand ready to fight if necessary. The alien emerges from the saucer. The army officers unholster their pistols. The visitor waves in greeting as he announces that he has come on a mission of peace. But, peaceful or not, all guns remain aimed directly at him. Reaching into a spacesuit, the visitor pulls out a device and points it toward them. Fearing this to be a weapon, a nervous soldier shoots him. The wounded visitor falls to the ground and says softly that this was a communications device, a present for the United States President. Our time is too short to go into the details of the plot now, but if you are interested, see my review of this film elsewhere on YouTube. Let me just say that in this film it is not a human who is the hero, but instead the alien, sent to warn the Earth dwellers to stop our fighting and building nuclear weapons, or else. And so I'm suggesting that even a mediocre film like BeyondBattLA offers us a good opportunity to discuss some important issues. What in us do many of these films appeal to? What emotions do they stir up? Pretty easy, isn't it? Of course, it's fear. Fear of the different. Fear of the unknown. You might, with friends, explore how and where fear is present in our own society. Back in the 50s, of course, when many of these films we've mentioned were made, it was fear of communism that scared many Americans almost out of their wits. What do we fear today? The perceived clash of civilizations? An unending war between the West and Muslims? At election time, how do some politicians use fear? Whom do they hold up as the enemy or the problem? Sometimes even demonizing an entire group for their own ends. It's such an issue that District 9 explores, following in the science fiction tradition of holding up some societal defect for us to think about. James Cameron's film Avatar also challenges us to look at aliens and ourselves through new eyes. Cameron's film takes us to a far-off planet in order to help us see our own planet and its diverse peoples in a new way. So do go and see BeyondBattLA, and then get out the DVDs of some of the other films we've mentioned. Discuss the issues they raise. You, your friends, and our society will be all the richer for it.